Paul from Port Fairy sent me a lovely email saying, Richo, I live by the sea, there's so much fish around, but every time I make a batter, it's really lame and really thin and not very nice at all. Well, Paul, I'm going to show you my technique to make the best batter in the world, and it starts with self-raising flour. Yes, self-raising flour is not just for cakes. I use it for my batter because it actually has a little bit of puff in it. It opens up and becomes light and airy and fluffy, exactly what a batter should be. Now, what I'm going to do is put a cup of self-raising flour into my bowl here, straight in there like that. And I'm also going to put half a cup of corn flour. Now, Paul, after all the years I've been making this batter, I reckon I can eyeball the corn flour. That's about half a cup. Now I'm going to pop one egg into the middle. I make a little well in the centre and pop the egg straight into the centre there. Make sure it's a free-range egg. And I've got a bit of baking powder, a teaspoon of that goes in there as well. Now all I need to do is, with a whisk and some special ingredient here, which is actually beer, I just whisk it up very, very slowly. Now, the trick is, Paul, to whisk it together just gently enough so that there's no lumps. You don't want to work it too hard, otherwise the batter becomes really, really tough. Now, the trick with this, Paul, is, of course, to let this batter rest. But you know me, I'm always impatient. I want to get it straight in. A couple of taps of the whisk, and you can see that's come together in no time. Now, I've got my fish here, and I've got some flour. What I do is put a little bit of salt onto my fish like that and then mix some flour into it. It's a good idea to have some flour on the fish because it helps to make it stick to the batter. Now what I'll do is I'll grab the fish with a lovely bit of flour on it and pop it into my batter. You can see that's important to me. I want it to coat that fish beautifully. Now, I know my oil is nice and hot because I've checked it with my thermometer, and in it goes. Now, as you can see, I'm just shallow frying here in a pan. I've got enough oil in here to cook my fish. All I have to do is about halfway through, turn it over. All I need to do is pop the rest of this fish in, and I'll be eating fish in no time. A bit of salt, because you need salt with fish and chips, and I'll put a couple of these babies on here like this, a little bit of lemon, and of course some parsley for some greenery. That would have to be the perfect batter, Paul. The self-raising flour has risen and made this batter nice and fluffy, just like me. Crack that open. Oh, look at that. That's exactly what you want. Now, Paul, pay attention tomorrow for lesson 2, how to cook the perfect chip.